What if Donald Trump won a second term in 2020? What if one of the most controversial elections in modern US history had yielded a different result? Imagine an alternate reality where Donald Trump emerged victorious in the contentious and fiercely debated 2020 presidential election. How would the United States and the world look today? This thought experiment allows us to speculate on the political, societal, and economic trajectories of such a scenario while sparking debate on the long-term ripple effects. Without picking sides, let's dive into this fascinating alternate timeline and explore its potential outcomes. What would have happened if Donald Trump secured a second term as president? Donald Trump's presidency was defined by his America First philosophy, which emphasized prioritizing domestic interests above global partnerships. A second term would almost certainly have fortified this agenda. Trump's administration might have doubled down on immigration reforms, building on efforts to tighten border control and restrict pathways to citizenship for undocumented immigrants. DACA's future could have faced more scrutiny, and policies limiting refugee admissions might have become even stricter. Domestically, Trump showed a strong inclination toward economic deregulation. A second term may have led to further easing of rules in industries such as energy, finance, and manufacturing, potentially spurring short-term economic growth, albeit with long-term environmental or social trade-offs. Healthcare policy would also likely have remained a battleground. With maximum attention on repealing or significantly altering the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, Americans could have witnessed changes in how healthcare access and affordability were managed. Supporters might have hailed these changes as reducing government interference, while critics could have pointed to fears of widening healthcare inequities. One of the biggest what-ifs surrounding Trump's hypothetical second term revolves around his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. As the virus surged in early 2020, Trump's leadership drew both praise and criticism. If he had remained in power, how might the United States have navigated a national health emergency on a global scale? The speculative outcomes are multifaceted. On the one hand, Trump's emphasis on states' rights could have continued, leaving pandemic response largely to individual states. This approach might have increased disparities between regions in terms of handling lockdowns, healthcare availability, and vaccination rates. On the other hand, the Trump administration might have leaned harder into rapid vaccine development initiatives like Operation Warp Speed, potentially accelerating global access to vaccines. Public messaging, however, would have likely followed a familiar trajectory.